Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for the Visual Enterprise Incubation Program launch. We are happy to have you join us. My name is Advocate Mapipa of the Moses Kotane Institute. I will be directing the program. Because it's this new normal, I would like that people hand over to me by saying over to you, Program Director, because I won't be able to hand over the mic. We only have a few items, about 5. Our program is starting now at 12, ending at 1. I'll hand over to our CEO, Ms. Thandeka Ellenson, to do the opening and welcome. Over to you, CEO.
Thank you, Program Director, Advocate Lehle Mapipa, members of the board, in particular, Dr. Isaac Matri, who has joined us today, Mr. Lindani Mkize, who is the founder of Silicon Derbs, Mr. Maxime Mbata, who is the founder of IT and Alarm Services, Ms. Mapitso Dlepu, who is the head of Corporate Social Investment and Sustainability at SAMSA, entrepreneurs on the MKI program, as well as the global entrepreneurial community, executives, management, and staff of the Moses Kotane Institute and other government entities. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocol is observed. I am pleased to welcome you today to this online launch for the Enterprise Incubation, which is a new program under the Moses Kotane Institute. The developments of the COVID-19 have pushed the global community to innovate and do things differently. And I would like to congratulate the team at the Moses Kotane Institute for the launch of this digital platform, because it provides access to entrepreneurs who would not normally have access to the incubation program for various reasons, of course. More and more people are encouraged to enroll and participate in such programs because this program can be beneficial if designed effectively. And an online program, of course, has got many amazing benefits. First of all, it allows entrepreneurs the flexibility to work around their busy schedules, meaning that it allows an opportunity for them to pursue their dreams whilst they are on the program. Secondly, it allows the resources that we use under the incubation program are not limited to the local surroundings, meaning that we eliminate the hassle of fitting in the incubation program in the busy schedule. We eliminate the transport costs and we provide convenience for participating in the program. Thirdly, there is an opportunity for more interaction between incubatees and mentors using this digital platform. And this, of course, encourages learning and mentoring. And lastly, this platform can be accessed from anywhere at the comfort of your home or at work or whilst you are in transit to other activities. And therefore, the launch of the Moses Kotane Institute online incubator program will structure, develop, and refine entrepreneurial business with a mentor that guides entrepreneurs step by step. With these few words, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to warmly welcome you to the Moses Kotane digital platform. Thank you, and over to you, Program Director.
Thank you so much, CEO, for that warm welcome. Now we will play video clips of the previous Innovation Awards. If the IT can assist me with playing the video.
My experience on the program, we started with incubation program under OSAC's board. And then from there, they took us from the basics. I mean, doing the business plans, and also a lot of things that I learned, like the financials. I am not a finance person, and with numbers, I was really a beginner. So it assisted me a lot in terms of balancing out my business plan and from scratch to the finalization of it. So a lot of things also that I learned, it was the practicality of the business, like taking a business from the ideology up to where it needs to be. So the support also that we got from our mentors, who were progressively, I mean, every time contacting us and checking on our progress, and also assisting us in everything that mattered to us. So it's been quite an interesting journey, but challenging as well, especially since I mentioned for myself, I'm not a person who worked with numbers. Even at school, I was on the maths, physics, but not on the economics and business side of things. So I've benefited a lot from the program, and I'm looking forward to implement also all the things that we have learned from the program.
My experience with Maritime Incubation program, kube uqala phansi business plan and understanding the financial to do financials, and we thank Mr. Zulu Vincent so much. He has been so hard on us. Sometimes ekuseni ngo-7, others keeping ngo-7 ebusuku, sithi sizothola nje ithuba lokuthi ke sibe sehotela. Cha, akase ngasiku-enjoy ukuba sehotela, but we really appreciate i-effort eyenziwe, and we thank Moses Kotane for a contribution ayenzile kuma-business ethu. I can say now I understand, though I'm a very shy person, but since I've been in this program, I'm starting, to build that confidence on my business.
My experience with the Maritime Incubation program of Moses Kotane has been a very great one, and indeed I've learned a lot and grow from an idea stage, starting my business from an idea stage, because there are many ideas, but we've learned a lot, even starting from business, making a business plan. I am confident now, even in every idea that comes, I won't need a consultant to do my business plan. I can see it, and I've learned a lot, even with the financials, with the spreadsheet. I'm familiar with it, and my confidence in the presentation and pitching. I've learned a lot, and even my idea is now becoming more practical. I'm very happy and appreciate all the help that I've got through this program.
My experience with the Maritime Incubation program, maybe Moses Kotane, if you're looking at a business, business technical side, ngafunda kakhulu ngoba ukusebenza ngomkhumbi siye sayobona la kwakhiwa khona umkhumbi, ukuthi umkhumbi uyakhiwa kanjani, ukulungiswa kwayo, ukufika kwayo, nokufunda-ke nje ukuthi ibhizinisi lirana kanjani on a day-to-day basis, like ukwenza ama-records ebhizinisi, nakho kakhulu ngoba mina njengoba sengishilo ukuthi bengazi-technical kakhulu. So ube experience enhle esiyitholile from support esiyitholile from Moses Kotane as well. Yonke i-program ibe i-input edingakalayo nebisemqoka kakhulu ukwenza ibhizinisi lethu liphumelele.
Thank you so much. That was just samples of the incubation program feedbacks that we have held. It is clear that we have live businesses that have benefited from this program, and more are benefiting. And now that we're going to have an online course, we will be able to reach even where we were not able to reach before. Thank you so much. Now, and let me just add a disclaimer that that video was taken before the lockdown, hence there is no social distancing. Now I would like to hand over to Ms. Mapito Lepu, who is the head of social investments and sustainability at SAMSA. Thank you so much for your availability, ma'am. Over to you.
Good afternoon, colleagues. I'd like to acknowledge the program director, Advocate Mapipa. I would like to acknowledge the Maritime team led by Mr. Zulu, the MKI CEO, Ms. Thandeka Ellison, the board members present and absent today, the MKI executives, the MKI stakeholders and friends. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, it is still Women's Month. It is only proper to also celebrate our own and congratulate Ms. Thandeka Ellison for being newly appointed as MKI CEO. Congratulations, ma'am. On behalf of SAMSA's CEO, Mr. Sobantu Tilai, and the Corporate Affairs Executive, Mr. Vusi September, we also joining in support in the launch of the enterprise launch of the Virtual Enterprise Incubation Program. This program is coming at the right time where the country and the globe is facing so much uncertainties that have been created by the COVID-19 pandemic. And I think even when we enter into the post-COVID, we will be able now to, do business in a different way. So this program is coming at the right time. I think it's also important to recognize the work that MKI is doing to grow the maritime industry in KZN and South Africa at large. We would like to express our gratitude as SAMSA to have had an opportunity to partner with MKI, and also just briefly to highlight the joint responsibility that we have in terms of collaborating on identified programs that promote maritime industry development, youth development, water skills development, maritime research and innovation, coastal and maritime tourism, and in particular maritime rural development, which is a space that we normally occupy in partnership with MKI. I've been requested to talk about the importance of enterprise development and sustainability, but I'd like to change that around and perhaps talk about maritime entrepreneurship as a catalyst for sustainability and social change. And this would be in relation to the importance of the SDGs and how are we aligned as the two organizations in ensuring that we also implement all the programs in accordance to the SDG expectations. In 2015, the United Nations released an influential document entitled Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, in which 17 Sustainable Development Goals, along with 169 targets, were announced. The document aims to address a broad range of sustainable development issues such as poverty, hunger, health, to name a few, and education. Therefore, sustainable development goals are a comprehensive agenda agreed upon globally that aims to stimulate actions towards economic, environmental, and social sustainability. Being one of the key stakeholders, the international maritime industry plays an important role in contributing to the global sustainability. Safe to say that entrepreneurship has become a key concept because it originates from interdisciplinary field of sustainability and also an entrepreneurship. Therefore, this paradigm forces us as MKI and SAMSA and other organizations to find a shared value in identifying opportunities for sustainable entrepreneurship and for sustainable programs that can be able to benefit our communities, and in particular our youth. Therefore, it is important to also note that entrepreneurship has become a buzzword as a solution to various social, economic, and environmental challenges that we face in the maritime space. And in this regard, innovation is inseparable from this process. And as indicated, the MKI in incubation comes at the right time when the world, our communities, need a different way of actually, doing business. If we look at the SDGs, I would like to focus on 2 SDGs in particular, SDG4 and Sdghd. These 2 SDGs, they highlight the alignment of addressing issues of entrepreneurship. The Sdg4, or the Sustainable Development Goal 4, it seeks to ensure inclusive, equitable quality education and promotion of lifelong learning and opportunities. And this target has to be, by 2030, there has to be an increase in the number of the youth and adults with relevant skills. And this includes your technical and vocational skills for employment and decent jobs. And therefore, I'd like to applaud MKI to say we are in alignment with all the sustainable development goals. We are getting there. We are not making a whole lot of noise about the programs that we are doing, but I'm confident that in due course we will be able to make noise so that the relevance of SDGs are highlighted in all the work that we actually do. Now, coming back to Sdg8, it talks about the promotion of sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. And as our economy is actually getting pressure due to the COVID pandemic, once again, this program is relevant because it is encouraging young people to come up with innovative ideas, and having a partner like MKI, we're definitely in alignment, because whatever program that our entrepreneurs will be coming up with, they will be assisted. I'm definitely sure that they will be assisted with research, with all, and to ensure that the innovative ideas, they come to reality, they come alive. So by so saying, I want to emphasize once again to say we are in line as organizations, and obviously partnership always has teething problems. We will learn as we go along. As all of us, it's a new venture. It's a new way of doing things. We need to be patient with ourselves, and we need to encourage and challenge young people to come up, to begin coming up with business ideas, and to think along the lines of innovation and sustainable business. And in terms of also considering, our environment, combating pollution, coming up with programs that talk to what we do in the maritime space, and also going green, ensuring that we live in a very clean environment. You will agree that during this lockdown, everybody has experienced fresh air with limited pollution from the trucks, from the roads, the noise. So I'm sure our entrepreneurs who are online with us today will begin to give us solutions that we can be able to implement in our business, in terms of how we roll out our business going forward. Thank you very much for giving SAMHSA such an opportunity to be part of this launch. I'll hand over to you, Advocate. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Ms. Lepu, a maritime expert, a business expert, who's very passionate about growing small businesses and the economy of South Africa as at large. She always mentions that we should not confine ourselves to KZN as MKI. We should go national. We are heading to that call, Ms. Lepu. Just watch the space. And we are very happy with the partnership that Moses Kotane has with SAMSA. We're looking forward to more engagements. Thank you. I think now we can cross over to Ms. Maxine Mbata, the founder of IT and Alarm Services Pty Ltd. She will be talking about the importance of self-entrepreneurial development. Over to you, Mr. Mbata, sorry. Do we have Mr. Mbata? It seems that Mr. Mbata is struggling to connect. Do we have Mr. Lindelani Mkhize? No show of hands. Okay, colleagues, seemingly there are technical problems with our guest speakers there. But I do know that we have the main speaker of the day, who is our board member and a deputy vice chancellor at the Durban University of Technology, a scientist, mathematician, who also happens to be very passionate about the development of young people and businesses, young businesses. Over to you, Dr. Isaac Matri.
Is it good afternoon or good day, everybody?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's good afternoon, sir.
Yes. I've been requested to say a few words as part of this program, but before I do so, I would like just to acknowledge the following participants and people who are behind this particular program. First and foremost, the program director, Advocate Lihle Mapipandlovu, members of the board in absentia who are also fully behind this program, the newly appointed CEO of Moses Kotane, Thandeka Ellinson, and the rest of the executive management team of Moses Kotane, together with other sister entities and partners, and management and staff of MKI, entrepreneurs on the MKI programs. We have seen earlier on the video, some of them giving us their words of appreciation. Entrepreneurs all over the world, and KwaZulu-Natal in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, if I miss any one of you, I'll just cover that under all protocol observed, so that no one will actually complain that he or she has not been mentioned in the program. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to meet today in this significant event to launch the Moses Kotane Institute's Virtual Enterprise Incubation Program 2020/2021. Ladies and gentlemen, small, medium, and micro enterprises, usually referred to as SMMEs, are vital to the prosperity of the country's economy. According to South Africa's Treasury, in terms of contribution to GDP, An estimate of 52 to 57% has been quoted by the Trade and Industry Minister, putting the numbers of SMEs in South Africa at 2.8 million and their contribution to employment at 60%. Moreover, looking ahead, the National Development Plan projects that by 2030, no less than 90% of the new jobs will be created in small and expanding firms. With KwaZulu-Natal being the second largest provincial economy in South Africa after Gauteng and contributing about 16.5% towards the country's gross domestic product, has a potential of being a hub of SMEs economic activities. Ladies and gentlemen, just to digress a little bit from my written speech, I think we'll all need to probably apply our minds and think whether our existing higher education sector is actually talking to these challenges. Probably there is a need to relook at our curriculum across the entire higher education sector so that it actually promotes the establishment of SMEs, because our education system currently is heavily biased in favor of those people who are seeking employment. And I think, therefore, the challenges of the country may not only be addressed through job seekers, but it will only be addressed through people who are actually creating their own business. And therefore, the investment in capacitating South Africans to establish their own business is very much critical. And that is within the context of the SME programs that we're talking about today. Just to go back to my prepared speech, despite the noble aspirations of economic growth and job creation, major constraints persist. Major challenges that small enterprises face in KwaZulu-Natal include legal, regulatory framework, access to information and advice, access to marketing and procurement, access to finance, the physical infrastructure, capacity building, entrepreneurship and management skills, industrial relations, and labor environment, access to appropriate technology, lack of joint ventures and taxation and other financial burdens. It is therefore not surprising that, according to Global Entrepreneurship Monitor Report 2020, South Africa ranked 49 out of 54 economies in the world, just ahead of Croatia, Guatemala, Paraguay, Puerto Rico, and Iran. The failure rate in South Africa is just as high as 49%. Furthermore, only 12% of South Africans have entrepreneurship intentions. Ladies and gentlemen, just again to digress a little bit, as I'm reading this speech, it actually resonates with my mind the fact that how many South Africans are actually knowledgeable, first and foremost, with the maritime sector industry. As most of us, we have gone through the higher education sector and only to come across these buzzwords very late in our careers. I recall, for instance, the classical example with me, long after I obtained my PhD, and at the time when I joined in the University of Zululand, I was requested to lead the establishment of the Maritime section within the university. And probably this has to do with our training and where the country probably never publicized this very important and critical component of the economy of our country to the rest of South Africans. And as I've already stated, some of us catches this at the tail end. So when I was presented with this challenge, I must state this without any fear that actually I had to go to the internet and Google most of the latest developments in the area of maritime section. And basically, I had to teach myself and give myself some form of a crash course. Basically, what this means is that we need to just go beyond assuming that most South Africans are actually knowledgeable about this particular area and embark on a program that will actually publicize the maritime sector, because as you all know, the country is almost surrounded by water, almost 100%, and therefore there's so much potential for the country to develop from the maritime economy. So this is just one component probably that is lacking in terms of the publicity around this. Again, just if I may go back to my prepared speech, as a strategic response to addressing the challenges that small enterprises are facing in KwaZulu-Natal, MKI developed what we refer to as the Enterprise Development Strategy 2020 to 2024. Enterprise development is an essential element of economic growth. Furthermore, through enterprise development, people can obtain a livelihood and rise out of poverty. I'll just use the acronym ED instead of just repeating the word itself. ED is investing time, knowledge, and capital to help small, medium, and micro enterprises establish, expand, or improve business, including empowering modest income generation, generating information activities to grow and contribute to the local economy. Moses Kotane's enterprise development's overall objective is to contribute towards the creation, growth, and sustainability of small businesses, thereby creating jobs and resulting in the growth of the province and country's GDP. The key objective of this strategy can be summarized as follows. 1, raise awareness about priority sector business opportunities. I think this talks to my earlier reflection around the lack of understanding among the South African population on some of the opportunities that are available. The second one, facilitate equitable access and participation in terms of race, gender, disability, age, and geographical location. I think probably the last one is even more important because, as we all know, that South Africa is largely rural in area, covered rural areas, of which most of those people don't have easy access to information. So that's one critical area there. And the third one, support the creating sustainable long-term jobs through instruments such as acceleration programs. Profile successful and emergent entrepreneurs in the priority sector. And finally, work with organs of state in facilitating local infrastructure for small and emerging businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, in delivering on the strategic intents of Moses Kotane's enterprise development strategy, today we are launching the Virtual Enterprise Incubation Programs for 2020. The 2020 program is made up of a Virtual Incubation Program, Maritime Accelerator Program, Investment Readiness Program, and the Post-Incubation Program. The Virtual Incubation Program, abbreviated as VIP, is 6 months in duration and is aimed at aspirant entrepreneurs who are still at idealistic phase or have informal business that needs to be formalized. Basically, these are people with a vision to become entrepreneurs. So they need to be assisted to advance towards realizing their dreams. Entrepreneurs are taken through an intensive 6 modules, resulting in a draft business plan, and then taken through the investment readiness program. We've already seen earlier in the video some of the achievements that have been made, where some members of the community have actually benefited from this program. The objective of the VIP is to capacitate aspirant entrepreneurs to develop their business plans. There are 36 enterprises represented by 2 entrepreneurs each for a total of 72 beneficiaries. The sector represented in this cohort are Maritime, Innovation and Technology, Green Energy, Agriculture and Manufacturing. Ladies and gentlemen, the VIP program is aimed at aspirant entrepreneurs from idealistic to bankable business plan and starting a business. We are cognizant of the fact that there are entrepreneurs who have already taken the leap and launched business startups. To this end, we have, for an example, the Maritime Accelerator program. The objective of the MAP, which is an acronym for Maritime Accelerator program, is to capacitate maritime startups to grow into scalable businesses. Maritime Accelerator program beneficiaries have registered business that have commenced maritime business operations. There are 7 enterprises in the current cohort, represented by 14 entrepreneurs. These entrepreneurs will be taken through this mentorship program to conduct current business plan evaluation, product market strategy, and devise and implement growth plans to significantly scale their operations. Having done their own research at Moses Kotane Institute and having documented lessons learned from previous enterprise development cohorts, access to finance is a major challenge facing entrepreneurs. Investors and funding institutions often cite lack of investable, bankable business as a challenge in the deployment of SMEs development capital. On the other hand, entrepreneurs point to dire lack of finance as a major obstacle to starting and or growing their own business. To address this challenge, Moses Kotane Institute has developed and will be delivering the investment readiness program called IRP. IRP capacitate entrepreneurs in putting together a fundraising strategy, make applications to relevant funding institutions. Furthermore, entrepreneurs are capable to produce and present investor pitch deck and other fundraising documentations. There are 43 entrepreneurs on the IRP program, mainly in agriculture, tourism, and technology. Some of the entrepreneurs were on our Innovation Ignition program. The sustainability of our enterprise development program is crucial, and Moses Kotane Institute, having successfully rolled out the Maritime Incubation program in the last financial year, we have proceeded to implement the Post-Incubation Support Program known as PSP. Post-Incubation Support Program is a 6-month mentorship program aimed at a class of 29-20 incubates who require further support to successfully compete in the marketplace. The overall objective of the PSP is to capacitate the entrepreneurs to compete in the marketplace. The 14 entrepreneurs on the post-incubation support programs. Ladies and gentlemen, the 4 sub-programs aforementioned that form part of today's virtual entrepreneurs incubation for 2020-2021 are a clear demonstration of Moses Kotane's commitment to growing the entrepreneurship ecosystem within the RIM mandate, known as the RIM mandate. Whereas there are several incubation programs in the marketplace, Moses Kotane's enterprise development program apply a systems thinking approach to enterprise development, placing a high value on self-development, leadership, ethics, value to society, and innovation. Furthermore, our approach is to focus on walking the entrepreneurial journey with the entrepreneurs. providing guidance and support, and most crucially, the practical tools towards the attainment of predefined outcomes. I would like to take this opportunity to implore the entrepreneurs on these entrepreneur development programs to seize the opportunity, but in the required effort that will enable them to realize their true potential and able to be capacitated by the leading enterprise development experts at Moses Kotane Institute. We promise a journey that will lead us to self-actualization, strong leadership abilities, and dynamic enterprises. We thank various partners for our enterprise development program, and we believe working together, we can contribute towards a thriving SMEs ecosystem that enables GDP growth and employment outcomes. With all those words, I wish to thank everyone and every participant in this Moses Kotane programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Maitli, the Honorable Board Member of the Moses Kotane Institute, the DVC of the DUT. DUT happens to be one of our strategic partners as MKI. We share a lot of interests, key today being maritime. We also have students that we fund through the MKI bursary program, which Dr. Maitli is overseeing that side at DUT. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now we have comments from the viewers. From Anonymous, we have congratulations to Ms. Thandeka Ellenson on her new position as the CEO of Moses Kotane. And then we have Kamogelo Lesabe, who says, I love how MKI, in partnership with various entities, including SAMSA, is taking the forefront in implementing the programs targeted at global SDGs. Then there's a response from CEO thanking Ramode. There's a comment from Nkosiyapha Mathenjwa. Think it's a question. He is asking which way can MKI help him to kickstart his project. He's currently running a nursery that will produce seedlings, herbs, flowers, herbs, and indigenous plants for the replanting market for medicinal purposes. We will respond to that, Mr. Mathenjwa. Today's program, though, is mainly for enterprise development of the maritime entrepreneurs. However, since we have received your question, we'll be able to help you offline with this one. Then there is a comment from Anonymous, who was also congratulating Ms. Ellenson on her appointment as the CEO of the Moses Kotane Institute, and thanking Moses Kotane for affording everyone this opportunity. I suppose it's the opportunity of taking part in the programs of Moses Kotane and informing the public about the programs past and upcoming. Thank you, and that is about it. I don't see any other comments. I would like to hand over back to the CEO, Ms. Thandeka Ellenson, to close the program for us. We've held the problem with the other speakers, they are struggling to connect. However, we will be in contact with them and share on our platforms what they had prepared to share with us. Thank you. Over to you, CEO.
Well, thank you very much, Program Director. Thank you very much to Dr. Isaac Maitli, and thank you very much to Ms. Mapito Depo of SAMSA, and thank you very much to the attendees. You are all special and very much welcome to join us for future activities. We really appreciate your presence, and this is a start. It's a new dawn for Moses Kotane Institute, and we would like to see you participating more and more on these activities. And for the inquirer who asked about the cultivation and the herbs and the cannabis, I can advise you to email us on kznkenna@moseskotane.com. KZN is spelled KZNCANNA@moseskotane.com. With this, I would like to thank you, Program Director, and thank you to all the attendees and our speakers, and thank you to the support team. We wish you the best, the very best in the future, and we wish our entrepreneurs a very successful virtual incubation program. Thank you, Program Director.
Thank you. I would like to close the program now, and as I close, I thank everyone for participating, and you've been a good audience. I did not hear any disturbances. Thank you to the speakers who participated. May we all have a good weekend and happy Women's Day.
Thank you.
Women's Month, sorry.
Yes, thank you, sis.
Bye-bye.
Bye.